In the Quran, it says that you can lie and deceive the infidel. You can pretend to be their friends in order to destroy them.
What you just said is the lie. This is what I would say. And I would challenge anyone to open the Quran or Islamic teachings where it tells us to lie. But what I would advise people to do is to open the Bible and see what Paul says, that he becomes a Jew for the Jewish person, he becomes a Christian for a Christian, he becomes an atheist for the atheist, to bring them into his faith. He says, if my lie leads people to righteousness, then why do you call me a sinner? So if you've got an issue with lying to support belief, then you should have an issue with Paul. But Islam doesn't have that belief. So if it's there, please show it to me.
I don't know. They may have taken it out now.
You made it up. With all the respect,
no, I didn't make it up.
This is something.
I've seen it in there.
Can you show me? When I say you made it up, I'm saying that based on me knowing the Quran, because there's no such thing in the Quran. So if you make the claim, I believe you have to substantiate it with evidence, isn't it?
No.
That's how the. Oh, okay. So you just make claims. Okay.
No,
Okay, so that's a short clip. I'm not sure who that is, the Christian guy. But what he said is definitely a lie, right? There's no such verse that explicitly say what he mentioned. The accusation that I have encountered from some Christian that commented on my channel, that accuse of Muslim of taqiyya, etc. To justify that using the Quran, they have to stretch so much of for example, one Christian guy mentioned about there's a verse that indicate that under specific circumstances where you are, for example, afraid of your life, it is not sinful for you to not say or speak of the truth, meaning that you deceive the one that want to kill you, and basically imply that you are not wrong or you are not sinful in not telling the truth in that circumstances. And then they have to build up the case to say that, yeah, Muslim in spreading Islam, etc. is, that's quite a stretch to even justify the claim as if Islam teach as such. Now, I'm not familiar with what Muhammad Ali mentioned about what the Bible said about Paul saying as such. Maybe if I have the time, I would be interested to see what the verse actually say there, with regard to how Paul is openly being deceptive, or meaning deceive the audience if the one that comes is a Jew or a Christian. I have never heard of that before, so maybe I would try to find out if there's such a thing in the Bible, and if it's so, I'm interested to know what or how it is being understood. Now, given that, because some Christian and the Christian guy, it's funny because he said he do not need to, meaning the way he respond, right? He do not need to substantiate or prove his claim, as if the Quran says that, but he do not need even to know where the verse is, what the verse actually say. And interestingly, if anyone is actually have nothing else to do and scroll through all the comments under my channel, my videos, there are certain instances where I ask, is there any source that can justify, meaning you can use to justify your claim? Because some people say Islam says this, Quran says this, and I said, where in the verse of the Quran that ever said that? And they do not give any source. So it puzzled me, especially those Christian, that's the type of Christian that like to accuse Islam as lying, as using taqiyya, etc. Are those Christians actually imposing or projecting their own principles and values to Muslim because they are using such method, and they assume Muslims use the same method as well? Or I'm not sure whether they do it consciously or subconsciously, because that puzzles me for quite some time. Why do they accuse this when they can see the verse do not even justify such claim? Is it because the way they process that verse, because they have that value, they do it, and when they see that verse, it seems to them that it justifies what they do, and they accuse Muslim of doing the same? Anyway, so feel free to comment, and if you know about this. Thank you for watching. See you next time.